Welcome to the Tier 2 stream. We are at Silverstone for the second sprint race of the weekend. I'm back for another week. I don't know, I'm staying back. I was here last week. I promise I'm not losing it. Right, before we get into it, you probably heard the beeps for the starting of the session. It is a sprint weekend, so we've got one-shot qualifying, 9-lap race, 26-lap... 9-lap sprint race, 26 laps race. We are affiliated with Rogue Energy, so please use code PHX at checkout for 10% off of your order. As we load in there, Maverick's joining me for the commentating. Hello, Maverick.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you.
Oh no, Payne's is left.
Here.
That's not a great start.
Oh no.
My driver's disconnected.
Oh dear.
Hopefully Nadeem will be able to invite him.
Yep, hopefully so. So
you do not hear me opening a can on stream.
There you go, I covered it for you. Alright. This is going to be an interesting one here tonight.
For sure.
Tier 4,
but
tier
we say
2.
Interesting, but there's never any rain in the sprint. I want to see rain in the sprint. I want to see people have to pit last lap for inters because the mediums are useless.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if we actually get it this time. But for now, anyway, we've got some qualifying. So Mousy has served his penalty then. We should see Armin then serve his shortly. Nadeem up at the top. Flynn! Now, it all changed up at the top. Webby up there now. Flynn looks like he's made a mistake. He was up there at the top, but now he's much further down. Lewis now in P2. The Alphas both doing very well. And Webby and Lewis both fighting for pole here as Firefly pops up to the top. This is all to play for. Lava, I think, a little bit out of position as well down there in P7. We know he's got good pace here. So hopefully Lava can come back a little bit. Nadeem potentially has made a mistake as well. Webby holding on to that lead now at the moment through Maggots, Beckett's. Lewis and Firefly switching positions. Firefly does make it to P2. And let's see then, does anything change down the hangar straight? No, all relatively stable for now. Through Stove we go. And Webby is just setting those timing sheets alight, and it's going to be pole for the Alpha Man. 28-0, beating out Firefly by 0.6 of a second. Pulse makes it all the way up to P3. So, did that say Flynn was disqualified?
I think it's because he invalidated his lap, so when he crossed the line.
Invalidated, of course. It still counts as disqualification, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, interesting qualifying session there. Very good result for the Alpha Boys. They are trying to chase down the Astons in the championship. So let's see what kind of result they get here today. And good result from Williams too. Williams doing well to pop it into P2 and P3. So let's see what they can do from there. Flynn looked like he had the pace, at least towards the start there. So we will probably be expecting to see Flynn coming through the field here. And Lava as well. I think Lava potentially a little bit out of position there.
And an important note for the drivers, Panos isn't here, so Webby only has to score 11 points to tie for first place, and then 12 to take leading championship position.
Yeah.
And with 8 extra points on the line because of the sprint race, this is the worst time for Panos to miss a race, unfortunately.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. So this could really, really hurt Panos' championship bid. Yeah, let's see how we end up after today. If Webby can keep his nose clean, he's well in there for getting a good result. So yeah, interesting stuff here in round 6 for Tier 2. It is still all to play for.
I will have to be right back because we need to get Nadim to get an invite into Pains. So we'll be back in a moment.
Position at the start of the race. So yeah, it's looking like everyone's going to go for the same strategy here. No one wanting to try anything different.
Were you just talking to
Maybe.
yourself that entire time when I disconnected?
Did you mute me?
No, I disconnected to go to quickly chat to Nadim because he didn't see his messages.
Oh no, I was talking about strategy and stuff. Was I not on stream?
No! I said I'll be right back. I need to get
No.
Nadim to invite him.
I thought I would still be on stream, but anyway, hello everyone. Let's go over that again. It looks like everyone has chosen the medium tires, so no difference in strategy here today. Potentially, ooh, it was Nadim and Lava. I think made contact there.
I'll have to review that.
Yeah, it looks like everyone is gonna go for the same strategy here today. Potentially taking a little bit of information from the earlier tiers where it didn't rain. That doesn't mean it's not going to rain today, but let's see what happens. You know what's going to happen in Tier 1. If I choose the soft tires, it will not rain. If I choose the medium tires, it will rain.
And if you choose the hard tires, you will win the race.
Webby doing some donuts.
Oh, beautiful, Webby. Thank you very much.
Yep, those tires will be lovely and cooked now. As we see Armin then lining up at the back of the grid. Could be interesting to see how Mousy and Armin
He's gone for a very aggressive stance in his box. You take the first lap.
I most certainly will. Here we go. 4 red lights, 5 red lights. Engines rev up, and away we go. Looks like a good launch there for Webby. A bad launch for Pulse, as Lewis then makes it up into P3. Pulse is getting swamped here. Mighty! Ready up to P6! He's had a mega launch! Looks like a little bit of contact in the back there. I think there was a little bit of debris spreading over the track. Lava also having some issues as Nadim also spinning out of Albion Farm. So Nadim's going to be down at the back of the grid, unfortunately. So not a great qualifying session and not a great sprint.
As Flynn and Roan have an incident.
Oh, yeah.
Both drivers spinning out.
Is there any damage for either driver? Looks like they're both okay for now, but yeah, let's keep an eye on that.
Certainly heated tyres.
Yes, indeed. But what a launch from Mousy! That was absolutely brilliant stuff. Mousy extending it from the back of the grid. Let's just take a look. Yeah, up 7 positions. So the big winner here in the sprint. But now we've got Pulse all over the gearbox of the McLaren in front. Lewis did well at the start here, but on this first lap, he's struggling with the pace. Not quite able to hold on to the guys in front. Pulse is going to apply the pressure here. Is he going to go down the inside? He's not at the moment.
Armin and Lava first to fall victim to track limits.
Yeah, that is interesting. First lap on already getting some track limits. So they've already used up all of their chances. Pulse really keen to get past this McLaren in front. He wants to get back into that podium position. Roan, unfortunately, having troubles down at... I never remember which one it is first. Is it Woodcote or Luffield?
I don't know.
End of the Wellington Straight. Roan having some troubles, but he gets back underway. Pulse could be looking down the inside of Lewis. It's not quite enough. He just cannot pull alongside at the moment. But DRS is going to be activated once they cross the line this time. As Webby keeps putting in those purple laps. Trying to pull away. As Lewis is a bit of a cork on the bottle at the moment. Quite a lot of drivers queuing up behind. Oh, Pulse and Mousy making contact there, and 9000 getting involved somehow there as well. So quite a lot of drivers there, unfortunately, losing a lot of time as a result of that contact. And
Hopefully,
that gives Lewis
no damage.
a lot of Yeah, thankfully it was just spins, so they can recover, but that gives Lewis tons of breathing room now. He can just settle into the sprint now. Mousy is into that P4 position. Unfortunately, Pulse all the way down in P10. That's going to need looked at in the steward's office post-race. Payne's now getting very interested in that P4 position, and Lava very close in behind as well.
Be a DRS train down whatever this straight is called.
This is the Hangar Straight.
That's the one. Payne's into the lead of that fight.
And Lava's gonna send it too.
Mousy losing 2 positions in one straight. DRS, huge helping hand there.
Yes, ooh, Firefly now setting the purple lap. So potentially Firefly wanting to reduce this gap a little bit. And we're going to see a fight at the front. Firefly now within half a second of the lead of the sprint. Firefly did an amazing job in Tier 3 yesterday, reserving for the Williams team today. Firefly, though, needs to maximize his points today. No, sorry, not Firefly. Webby. Webby needs to maximize his points today to try and get as much of an advantage in the championship he can at the moment. Unfortunate that his Alpha teammate has lost 4 positions. Otherwise, they could close right up to the Aston Martins. We've still got the main event coming up right after this as well. There's still a lot to play for. It ain't over yet. Armin making moves. Ferrari man getting down the inside of Pulse. Looks like Pulse is struggling for pace here. Potentially a bit of wing damage there. It's not visible, but potentially a bit of wing damage.
Armin's missing an end plate.
Oh,
his
so
right
Armin,
end plate is missing. He's literally following what Charles Leclerc did last season.
Yes, indeed. So, yeah, Armin's going to be struggling for pace as well.
I can see it now. Paynes is going to pit for softs at the end of the race. Armin's going to be stuck on the hards. Not this again.
Already Ferrari strategy coming through.
But a pretty good start so far, considering Armin had a qualifying ban to serve this round. Yeah, he's managed to come up 4 places whilst still out of the points. Still an impressive start for the race next.
Yeah, for sure. You know, he's mitigated a lot of that quali ban. Same with Mousy. Mousy up 6 positions. Arguably should have been up there in P4 as well.
It's over 9,000 down the main straight. I thought he was close enough for a move, but he's not.
Not quite.
He was
on
side
this.
by side across the timing screen.
Interesting. We're going to see Lewis now back under pressure. Just not quite able to light these tires up. Payne's just has the pace on the McLaren man at the moment. And it looks like Payne's is going to attempt a move here. Firefly too far back for a move on this occasion, but Payne's is very close to the McLaren. Is he going to send it into left field? Not
He looks
quite.
for it.
Yeah, probably just wanting to fill the McLaren's rear view mirror with red.
Got to bide time for Hangar Straight then.
Yeah, I think that is exactly what's going on here. And potentially that's what Firefly is thinking as well. Haynes almost pushing the McLaren along.
Great exit. He's all over that gearbox.
Yeah,
he's side by side before the DRS zone.
Actually tapped the McLaren on the exit. But
beautiful.
Is he going to get through? He's not. Lewis is going to hold it on the brakes. But Payne's drives right the outside of Stowe. Absolutely lovely move. Very good battle there. Yes, indeed. Lovely to see it. That is what DRS should really do.
Slightly further back, we've got a 4-5 car battle. Oh my god.
Wow.
We've got Denrod followed by It's Over 9,000, followed by Armin, SeaTac, and Nadim, all fighting for 7th place. Armin as well to note, unfortunately, with a 3-second time penalty for track limits.
Yeah, this is very interesting. This is going to be very spicy.
And Armin managing to keep up relatively well, considering... Oh, there's a spin! SeaTac's lost it!
Oh, yeah, Pulse. That has lost Nadim a little bit of time as well as he does a little bit of collision.
And Armin goes down the inside after that straight, trying to go for a move on It's Over 9,000, and there goes It's Over 9,000. Collision between the two drivers, sister team rivalry at its finest, but unfortunately,
yeah, that
something to review in the steward's room for certain.
Yeah, that's we don't like to see it, but yeah, it happens. So definitely.
Still like 3-car fight, and what I was trying to say before It's Over 9,000 spun there was that Armin's doing quite well considering the damage that he's got to be able to keep up with the drivers ahead of him.
Yep, exactly. Yep, he's keeping the head down. Interesting that Firefly hasn't really attacked yet. Is Firefly just waiting to attack at the right time, or just does Weppy just have that little bit extra pace, I wonder? Armin could be looking at a move here on Denrod. I think the Haas also has a little bit of end plate damage as well. Ooh, the Haas closing the door very aggressively on the Ferrari.
The Haas also has damage, I think. The Haas is missing their left end plate.
Yeah, that's right. So that's probably why Denrod was actually holding up a lot of the pack there.
Opposing end plate damage cars are fighting one another.
Very interesting. Hello, Formula One. Welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. Is Nadim going to make a move here on Armin? Not quite.
Friends who used to race alongside each other in F1, friends who race alongside each other in F2 are now heading, are in a head-to-head battle for one another for 9th place.
Yes, indeed. Firefly now setting a purple first sector rather. Is he going to go on the attack this lap? Or is he going to have to settle for P2 here? Lewis once again coming under pressure as well. He's got an Alpine right behind him. In fact, the Alpine already passed him.
Nearly a second already from that overtake as well.
Yeah. I wonder, was that a mistake on the McLaren's part? Because, yeah, he seemed to lose a lot of time there. Or is it just a case of he knew that Lava had a time penalty, so just let him go, try and follow him, and he'll take that P4 anyway. But here we go then. Webby wins the sprint. Firefly in close behind, setting the fastest lap of the sprint. For now, Pains is going to come home. P3 up 5 positions.
That is an impressive drive by Paynes.
That is indeed. Yep, very, very good.
And Lava
Lewis,
promoted back up to 4th place because of... Lewis to 4th place with Lava's penalties.
Yes, indeed. A good launch from Lewis got him up there, but arguably he was a little bit off the pace here in the sprint, so we'll need to keep an eye on how he does in the race. Lava up 2 positions in the end. Mousy with the biggest winner from this sprint race, up 6 positions, and it could have been more if he wasn't involved in that contact earlier. So hopefully you all enjoyed that.
I agree. Mousy the Cheese is definitely driver of the day for that sprint. I mean, he had an excellent drive.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely one to watch then for the main event, especially with those that launch. That was just phenomenal. He's just absolutely nailed that off the line. So yeah, let's see what happens in the main event. Yeah, so Armin just letting us know here that he got damage on lap 1, so that wing damage. Oh, excuse me.
Was that from the contact with the Itova 9000? Was that before then? I can't remember when that happened.
Yeah, it must have been right then at the very start there. So yeah, unfortunate. Armin carried that front wing damage the whole way through the race, and really, when it comes to sprint, you have to really just carry the damage because it doesn't make sense to pit. You're just going to lose too much time. So yeah, it's one of those things.
Oh, right, T-posing engineers. Lovely.
Yay.
On the note of Webby winning, though, we have to now realise Webby only needs 3 or more points to overtake Panos now in the Drivers' Championship. And there is a race about to happen with 26 points, up to 26 points on the line. Webby only needs to get 8th or higher, or 9th with the fastest lap, and he has himself tied or in the lead.
Yep.
This is huge.
This is huge. This is going to be very interesting. So we're going to see, what does Webby do? Is he going to go flat out? Try and make the absolute most of this. Firefly's going to be right there, bugging him the whole time. And arguably, Pains is going to be up there too. Pains also has quite a lot of pace here. So. Yeah, the fight for the lead of this race. Oh, of course, safety car. Yeah, good one.
I haven't got the safety car on my screen.
Oh, do you not? Oh,
no.
Good.
That's just a skill issue.
So it is clearly just a skill issue. It's going to be interesting to see how everyone gets on here today. But let's talk some tires then. If I can bring up the tires. So very interesting indeed. We've got the top 3 are going for the safe option. Gonna go for the hards along with Nadim and Armin. They are potentially looking to go to the rain and want the rain to be as late as possible. Then we've got everyone else going for the slightly more risky strategy. Lewis, Lava, Mousy, Denrod, 9000, Pulse, Flynn, and Roan all ending up on the medium tires, which is the default strategy. So either they've opted for that strategy or didn't have time to change it. So that is going to be interesting to see how that goes on. We did see in Tier 3, the hards to intermediates was the best strategy, but we don't know when the rain is going
As
to hit.
Webby spins trying to warm up his tyres.
Unfortunately spins.
He's just cutting the grass, I got to make sure it's ready.
Oh, of course. Exactly. So, yeah, it's interesting if that rain comes early.
As Lewis
then...
also spins.
Oh, no.
Everyone's preparing the grass.
Everyone's preparing the grass. Interestingly, we haven't seen anyone attempt the softs. We did see that in Tier 3, but arguably the rain is not going to come early enough for that to make enough of a difference. So yeah, it's there's going to be quite a split here.
I have to say, I'm quite happy to see there's no soft runners because I admittedly made that mistake by saying hello in the stream for Tier 3.
Yes,
so, but yeah,
did.
Oh well, it's fine. I made the most of it by pitting first lap.
Webby again spinning on the grid. Hopefully that was not intentional.
Nadim, the only driver to be disqualified for the formation lap.
Okay. But here we go!
Take it away for the first lap.
Let's do this. 3, 4, 5 red lights. Everyone revs up. And we launch. Watch Mousy launch it off the line. Lewis has got a good run too. Lewis is going to be P2 into turn 1. Webby has got away nicely though and is going to lead. Firefly and Lava side by side. Mousy got a good launch, but unfortunately, turn 2 and 3
contact between Lava and Firefly, spinning Firefly out.
Oh, Firefly is around. He's now down the back of the grid. It's going to be a long, hard slog from there. Pain's trying. Oh, getting very wobbly on the. Oh, or is that just the interaction with the safety car on my screen? Oh, well.
No, he was getting wobbly.
He was getting wobbly, okay. So, yeah, Pain's struggling on these hard tires at the moment, trying to bring them up to temps. And Lewis, oh, we didn't see that. Lewis up into P1 using those mediums well then. So Lewis wants to get out there and really, really push as hard as he can to get as far ahead of the chasing pack as he possibly can. Let's see what he can do. But Webby's going to be very quick.
And he's got a faster strategy, possibly, depending on when the rain comes in. Of course, if the rain comes in so late, those mediums are going to drop off a cliff quite quickly. I think around lap 15 is when the mediums will drop off. So if the rain comes in later, Lewis might be ahead now, but I have to see what pit strategies they go for towards the rain period of the race.
Yes, indeed. I think you could argue that if you're on mediums right now, you have to expect to finish behind the hard runners. You know, you're going to be making an extra pit stop at some point in this race, unless, as I have been cursed before with the commentators' curse, the rain comes early. So we just need to keep an
rain
eye
lap
on
5. When, please, now?
Wow, could you imagine? Could you imagine? That would be very spicy.
I have to say, I would love to see a race where it goes from dry to wet to dry.
Yes.
Do you stick through the wet on the dries and risk it, or do you pit and lose that 20-odd seconds?
That is the ultimate question, isn't it?
But so far, we've only had, 2 incidences but still all the drivers are within about 5, no, call it about 10 seconds to the race leader at least.
Yeah, this
And
is
Webby
very
is
good.
so close. He's attacking for first place. Unfortunately, not close enough. I think Webby's hard compound tires are ready to fight now.
Yeah, they're up to temperature. It takes a little bit extra. Ooh, Lewis a little bit wide through Veal. He's gonna struggle on the par
There's a
here.
collision from Lava and Webby. Lava hitting the back of Webby, and Webby spun round now with wing damage.
Oh. And now Webby down in P11. Oh, that's really unfortunate for the Alpha Man. He needs those points. DRS is now enabled. Lava's looking good to get into the lead here, but arguably that's going to be investigated after the race. As Lava makes contact with Mousy there as well, then who loses a little bit of loses a few positions.
Are we seeing rough racing from an Alpine driver?
Never. So
Not Red Bull all over again. I mean, then again, Red Bull aren't actually that dangerous. They're just Verstappen is. We won't talk about that though.
No,
That's a whole other discussion.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, and look at this though. We've got what is that? All the way down to 7th place, all fighting.
Insane.
Lava taking the lead down the hangar straight, but Lewis is fighting.
Oh, Lewis did turn in there and tap the side pod of the Alpine, but gets away with it. Oh, but Payne's losing it under braking there. Didn't quite see what happened, but he spun around. I think potentially tapping the back of Lewis.
Firefly retiring from the race.
Oh, Firefly, that is, yeah, that's unfortunate. I think Firefly could have had a chance to come back there. He definitely has the pace, and he was on the correct strategy. But yep, that's the way it goes.
That's how the cookie crumbles.
That is how the cookie crumbles. You're exactly right, good sir. And right now, it is crumbling in
I could
favor
really go for a cookie now.
Yes, you are right, Cthulhu. This is not ACC, so any kind of contact, unfortunately, does just result in absolute chaos.
Lava with
So
penalty, and Denrod with 3 seconds. Okay, it's 3 seconds for Lava as well.
yeah, and Lewis is now doing a good job hanging out with Lava. Is going to make a move around the outside. He's going to try it. Oh, but he turns in. Oh, contact with Lava. That's another one that's incident that's going to need investigated post-race. That's unfortunate. And Mousy now is going to be right on the gearbox of Lewis. Ooh, look at Nadeem all the way up there in P3.
Almost contact between Mousy and Lewis.
Oh, this is crazy.
That was very close.
Yes, indeed.
As Paines takes the position from it's over 9,000 now up into 6th place, trying to recover from that early driver error, or potential early driver error. We're not actually too certain as to what happened.
Not quite sure exactly what did happen, but yeah, making his way through the field at the moment. Those hard tires are going to start to switch on now.
And to note now, as we come down towards the hangar straight, Flynn, who's made a very interesting return to F1, coming back at the best time ever, has qualified 12th. Is that 12th? I can't do maths.
Yeah,
That's
I
12th.
think it was down there in 12th. Yeah.
And he's in 5th.
Yeah.
That
Good.
is a brilliant drive for a race debut. Race debut? Would it be debut if they're
It's
returning?
return. No, it's not debut if they're
Yeah, it would be
returning.
return.
Yeah, good return. Yep. Yeah, awesome to see Flynn back on the grid. He's always
Three-car
very
battle
welcome
between
here.
Nadim,
Oh,
Mousy, and
why?
Lewis.
Oh my goodness. I could have seen that ending in absolute
With a
tears.
yellow flag, Armin. Oh no, Armin again has spun.
Yeah, something out of Club Corner. Club Corner always is very tricky on the traction. Oh, Micey's going to go round the outside of Lewis in Luffield and Woodcut. Is he going to make it?
And I'm back like I never left.
Wow. Yeah. Oh! Baines and Denrod making contact with each other! Denrod going flying off the track. Flynn is up to P3!
Denrod, I don't think that was a penalty that he should have gotten, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But
if he appeals
unfortunately, we're
that,
not going to be able
then
to remove it because he will have to pit at the end of this race, towards the end of the race.
so he'll probably end up serving that, unfortunately. Yep. Yep, something to review.
What a unfortunate time to come back.
Oh, several incidents all at once.
My bad, Cthulhu.
Lewis, getting. Oh wait, did you have me muted while I was
No,
doing that as well?
I hit the wrong keybind. I had to run because the windows are open and the house is freezing.
Oh my goodness.
Pains
Anyway.
all over the gearbox and it's over 9,000.
Oh. So all of my wonderful reactions.
I was gone for like 30 seconds, alright? Payne's almost pushing the sister team ahead. And now Payne's up into 4th place. So far, a really good recovery drive by the Ferrari driver.
Yeah.
And further back, we got Webby going side by side with Lewis. Webby getting ahead of Lewis now up into 9th place.
And now we see the hard tires are switched on. Nadim in the lead of this race.
And Pulse into the pits. Sick of those mediums.
Interesting. Already getting off those medium tires. I wonder, have they just been cooked? Because of, I think he spun earlier, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
So potentially wing damage. Have a look. It doesn't look like he had wing. I don't know. We got T-posing engineers still, so we wouldn't know.
He's going on to the hard tires. Maybe just looking to get on the hard tires nice and early, so that he can use them, to try and mitigate as much time in the pits as possible. But anyway, back out in 12th place.
So now this is interesting as we go towards the hangar straight. Nadim, for his final race in F1, is now leading the race with the Mousy behind him and Flynn on a return race in 3rd place, 9 positions gained. This is interesting.
It is, yeah, it is.
But it does look like when spectating his front wing now, his front wing is not clean at all. I think it's had a few scraps.
Interesting. Wonder, is he carrying just a little bit of damage then? Oh, Payne's now.
He is pushing it.
He is, yeah.
He was after one McLaren earlier in the race. He's now after the other McLaren in this part of the race. Yeah, that makes sense. I swear I've not lost my mind.
No,
Now
no,
going
of course
towards
not,
the
of course not.
first DRS straight on the track. Fortunately, though, he is 3/10 back, but unfortunately he's not close enough to make a move. Further back, I think Lewis... Yeah, Lewis and Rona fighting. Lewis almost getting pushed off of the track. Still fighting between the two of them, but I think Lewis just ahead. Let's see. With Rowan, he's got the DRS, but not close enough. Going deep, actually, and losing a lot of time now. Payne's back at it again, going into... what is this? Maggots Beckett.
And
That's the one.
Corner.
3/10 back. He's going to have DRS on this hanging straight.
Yeah.
2/10 back. He's got this move. Well under control.
Grip. There he goes.
Round the outside, and he is now up into third place, back into his initial qualifying position. Sorry, from his initial sprint place position.
Yeah.
Sprint race position.
So, yeah, good job recovering from the earlier spin there. Yep, making his way back through, making good use of those hard tires. Those mediums are going to start to drop off now, so we should start to see the hard tire runners start to run away with it a little bit.
I see what you did there.
Ah.
Mousy on those mediums, whilst they are the faster tire, they are also pushing the limit of what they can do. Probably about, I don't know, about 4, 5, maybe 6 laps if you're lucky to keep pushing with them. 3/10 back on Nadim ahead of him. I agree, Nadim is the GOAT, but how long can the GOAT keep Mousy the cheese behind? Mousy's been climbing very quickly through the grid.
That is the ultimate question.
Now through Cops into Maggots Beckett. He is close enough for DRS. Can he close that gap before the DRS win line? Will he be able to make the move this lap round, or will he have to wait one more lap? As now Paynes is within that DRS limit. He has cut that gap down. Paynes is pushing it. This is spectacular driving by the Ferrari driver. Now a 3-car battle. The only battle on the track within a second of each other is 3 cars for the lead of the race. Hard, medium, hard for the Nadim, Mousy, and Paynes. Yes, the...
Well, Payne's another fastest lap. He's absolutely flying out there.
This is Leclerc Australia all over again. Just pushing it every lap.
Hammering the laps in, yep. And with that, then, I will bid you all farewell, as it is time for me to go and get some practice in. So, hopefully you enjoy the rest of the race. Enjoy listening to Darkness, and I will see you for Tier 1. Bye.
Bye. Oh, bye. I'm not going to get a copyright strike now. But welcome to the Tier 2 stream, where it's now just me, yours truly. I mean, cause you are more than welcome to. If you join the waiting room, I can get you dragged in here. You can join us for the commentating. I do enjoy commentating, but it can get quite lonely quite quickly when no one else joins. End up having a conversation with myself, and I feel like I'm going mad. Hello, Cos. Welcome.
Hello.
Thank you for joining me and not making me feel like talking to myself is going to make me lose my mind, as we see Mousy 0.2 seconds behind. Payne's just ahead of him. Oh, hold on a minute. Payne's is ahead of him. Payne's is into P2.
Wow.
I'm great at commentating, I promise.
I hope. I don't know if you can invite me to the session, Darkness.
You're Steam, aren't you?
Yes. Who's the host?
Webby is. He's driving.
Oh, but okay. But you can't invite me through the in-game menu, maybe?
Let's have a look. Invites.
Otherwise, you can stream your POV and I'll watch.
I can't do it to Discord. My game will, my PC will struggle. Unfortunately, you'll have to watch it off of the stream. Is the only way I can think.
Just give it a minute. Doesn't let you open it. Ah, fuck.
Or maybe try opening your friends list, right click on my name and hit join game. Maybe if
Oh
that
yeah,
option
it's a
opens
good
up.
idea.
As we have a yellow flag at the back. Who is that? Unfortunately, no, Roan has had a bit of a spin. Very unfortunate for the Haas driver. Still just a 3-car battle though. Mousy, Pains, and Adim. Pains is absolutely gunning for the lead now. As Mousy, there goes Mousy. He is done with those medium tires. He's gone and put himself in the pits. Yeah, that's words. Oh, my game's frozen.
That's around the pit lap for the medium tire on this track. And usually the difference between the medium and the hard around here is not too big in comparison to some of the other tracks that we got in this game. So it might be interesting to see.
We've got a double stack. It's over 9,000 and Webby are pitting. Webby from the hard compound tires is pitting, and that's not something I was expecting to see at all. Lewis as well. It's over 9,000, opting for the softs. He's hoping for the rain in the next 5 laps. JP Mav went to go practice for his race in an hour. He's left commentating with me to go practice like a good tryhard, dare I say.
Yeah. And that's no. Will the rain come before the race ends? That's the question, because those softs are not going to last more than 5 laps, or with the max pace, and then they're just gonna start dropping off. And when they get to like 8 or 7 laps of wear, they're gonna be so slow that it's just not gonna be worth it.
Indeed, I'm curious to know what kind of strategy this is. Also, I've only just noticed, but Arminu had a very poor start to the race. Now up into 4th place. I mean, the top 3 runners, they've all got a pit stop clear of the drivers behind them. And oh my god, we didn't even notice, but Pains is in the lead of the race. What is going on? Why are we not seeing this?
Yeah,
but Ferrari in the lead now.
Yeah, I think Pains overtook Nadim down the back straight going into Stowe. And they've secured the overtake, but now let's see if Nadim has something to say about it.
We do know that Nadim is a very strong driver in Tier 2, and he's got a very good race engineer, Lord Owl, by his side, helping him through this race, as Flynn now pits for the hard compound tyres. So now we've seen all drivers now, except for the top 3, Armin now up into 3rd place, as Flynn is coming out of the pits. The top 3 are on the hard compound tyres, and I would assume are going to go with those hard compound tyres towards the end of the race for when, hopefully, the rain will come in. For Tier 3, we had the rain come in around lap 20. Tier 4, I believe, is around 22, I want to say. It was much later than Tier 3, I think. And Tier 5, I am not aware at all, unfortunately. Webby now into 10th place with the fresh mediums.
Yeah, the big question is, like, you know, if you extend those hards, are they gonna make it until the rain? Because, you know, maybe it starts raining, yes, but will it be wet enough for the inter tire, or will it remain very dry to the point that it's not really worth pitting?
Very good question indeed.
Have you got any idea of how this situation has gone down on the other tiers? Has the rain got very intense, and that meant that many of the drivers went to the inter tire, or did everybody stay with the dry tire and hope?
Unfortunately, I don't know for Tier 4. Tier 5 also wasn't here, but for my race for Tier 3 last night, myself and my teammate Point K, we both, as Armin now pits as well. Armin's done of those hard compound tires. But for Point K and I, we pitted right as the rain started hitting our faces. And I think that was the right call, switching to the inters then. Fortunately, though, it wasn't raining hard enough for us to need the full wet, sorry. As now Nadim and Paynes are just pulling each other along. 30 seconds clear the competition behind them. Armin pitting for the softs as well. This is very interesting. I think they're hoping for the rain in the next 4 to 5 laps now, as Webby puts in the fastest lap of the race. Up into 8th place with Armin coming out of the pits. So far, it's over 9,000 pitted for those soft compound tyres 2 laps ago, but unfortunately hasn't quite made the best of it. He's made up about 1.3, 1.4 seconds to the driver ahead of him, but isn't quite enough. I mean, those tyres are going to fall off a cliff very soon. The rain settings for the end of the race is... So currently they're in the dynamic stage, but the last weather slot for the race is heavy rain, so it is full wet weather for the last slot. Be interesting to see if full wets will be required or if it'll just be inters to the end of the race. As
Yeah,
now
we'll
Paynes has pulled out almost a second to Nadim behind. And we have Lava retiring from the race. He has crashed out, going through Maggins and Beckett's.
Wow.
That
Yeah.
is not what we want to see at all. Now Webby is promoted up into 7th place. Crucially for Webby, he is now in a position where he will score enough points. I think he's got the fastest lap as well. He will score enough points and he will take the lead of the championship as well now.
Yeah, that is such a bad place to crash because there's so much speed when you're going through those corners. It's just a bit of a miss of the rear. You lose the rear for just a moment, and it's your race over straight away. Maybe if you're lucky, you can keep your wheels, but your front wing will be gone. That's for sure. And one thing I was gonna say is around here the pit stop is so long. Because in real life, if you go into the pit lane in the final lap, it would be quicker than if you actually did the final 2 corners. That's why there's a rule that you cannot pit in the final lap around this track. But in the game, because that doesn't exist, they have set the pit limiter speed to 60 kilometers an hour. So the pit stops are like 34 seconds or so, which is very long for.
Now that's something
a
I
pit
did
stop.
not know. That's very interesting to know.
Yeah, that's the reason why the pit stops around here are a lot longer than in other tracks. Because it's a balancing reason in the game.
That makes sense. That does make sense. So that would then mean that Paynes is... Well, I would assume he is still a pit stop clear, both of them. But it will certainly be a close battle on their exit. But now it's just 2 drivers versus the rest. If we look towards the back of the grid, closest fight we've got is Flynn trying to catch up towards Mousy, pitting for those hard compound tyres 3 and 4 laps ago, respectively. Armin on those soft compound tyres last lap has managed to cut down about half a second to the driver ahead of him, Webby, but unfortunately still not enough. He's got himself about 4 laps to go before the softs die to catch 3.5 seconds to the driver ahead of him. It is now purely a game of patience. Who of the top 2, who's gonna stick out on those hard compound tyres the longest and wait for the rain, and who's gonna pit and not risk a puncture? And then for the rest of them, who's gonna get the right strategy call to secure that last podium step? As Nadim now pits. Nadim is done with those hard compound tyres. I said it, and it is done now. Paynes continues to lead the race and will have no driver. He will be clear by 32 seconds clear of the drivers behind him. As Nadim now pits for the medium compound tyres. Mousy is coming around towards the final chicane, though unfortunately, as he approaches the final corner, will not be close enough, I don't think, to be able to take 2nd place from Nadim. Certainly will be close to fight it, but not close enough. Let's see now. Coming towards the end, there comes Nadim out of the pit window. You can see Mousy in the back of the screen there. And no, Mousy 1 second off. He will have DRS though, I think. But
Yeah.
we'll have to see now. Can
And the team's gonna have the cold tires.
Can Nadim be able to defend off? He will have ERS still. Of course, going into the pits, you recharge a lot of ERS. But will it be enough to defend as Mousy does not manage to make the move down that DRS straight, but is continuing to fight? Those hard compound tyres are ready to fight. Whilst Nadim, as you mentioned, do have very cold tires. I found that it took about half a lap before the hards managed. Before the medium compound tires got into temperature. So hopefully that'll be the same. As now Paynes has gone in the pits. Paynes is not risking it, and he is pitting now. Likely going for the mediums, on the assumption for the end of the race is my guess. But no, they look like those are the red compound tires. Those are the softs. He is hoping for the rain in the next few laps as Mousy makes the move on Nadim down the hangar straight now, coming towards the final chicane. Nadim is still fighting, going very wide off of the track. Fighting into the chicane, but Nadim with the inside line. Back and forth between the two of them now. Nadim going very wide. And Mousy takes second place now. Payne's coming out of the pits. Comfortably ahead of the pair behind him now. What is that? 5.5 seconds now clear. 5 seconds clear behind from Mousy the Cheese on old medium or hard compound tires as Nadim comes fighting back now into the first sector, towards the end of the first sector, into the DRS straight now. I think Nadim might have DRS. He does. Nadim making the move before the DRS straight. Now it just has clean air to keep pushing and increase that gap behind him. But crucially, no drivers have opted to go for a one-stop from hards to inters, not willing to risk it. I mean, the sun is still out. It does look very clear, and I can't see any clouds in the sky, actually. So,
yeah, I was just going to mention that. It doesn't look like any rain is coming at this point.
Very interesting. It was very cloudy at the very start of the race, but I think dynamic weather has said, no, we're not having rain. We're going to have nice, clear sunshine and rainbows and potential downfall, I guess, at the very end of the race. I reckon, if anything, it'll be one of those moments where Mark's going to say, oh yeah, you got rain in about 5 to 10 minutes, which is at the end of the race.
Yeah, and it's going to be that no driver is going to want to go onto the inter tire. But now the interesting part here is Paynes is on the soft tire. Will those softs last long enough before they wear out and start losing pace? And will he pull out the gap that is big enough to keep Nadim off for the rest of the race? Or do you think he will have to start compromising some of his pace to save the tires?
I think he'll have to latter as he sets a purple first sector, 6/10 up. I mean, as a team principal, I would love to see my drivers conserve. I mean, he's in a great position to potentially win this race. But I think, again, it's a questionable strategy from my perspective. I personally would have gone for the mediums at this point of the race. But I guess he is banking on that rain coming in, as now Webby makes a move down that DRS straight up into 6th place now. And now, crucially, it's 5th and 6th for Alfa Romeo. So Webby securing the points at the moment for taking the lead of the Drivers' Championship. And now with both of them together, they are securing a lot of points for their team now as well. So it'll be a very good race so far for the Alfa Romeos. Of course, Webby was at one point leading this race. Unfortunately, both It's Over 9000 and Webby were involved in several incidences to find themselves falling down the order. So for them to climb their way back up to mid-pack and within relative fighting room for a podium is still quite impressive nonetheless. Slightly further back, though, Webby may have made the move on Pulse. Pulse is still right on his tail. He will have DRS again if he keeps up this pace into the first DRS line. First DRS line? First DRS sector. As you mentioned, if Paynes can pull out the gap, Paynes has actually managed to pull out another 2 seconds to Nadim behind him on those mediums.
Yeah, and I think there's no pace Nadim can manage right now that will allow him to catch up all the way to Paynes. So I think Paynes, all he has to do now is he's just gonna manage this race. He doesn't have to get any penalties. He just has to back up a bit and try to keep the car on the track. No penalties, no tire wear, no nothing. Just keep it clinical, and he will be the winner here today if he manages to do all that on these 5 laps remaining.
Now it's back to a game of patience. Who's gonna push their limits and push their car to try and fight for a position, or who's gonna conserve and save their tires as Payne's pulled out another half second. Lap 22. Those tires are going to be 7 laps old. I will be thoroughly impressed if he pushes those tires to that age. But having said that, though, it's Webby. It's over 9,000. We have a yellow flag. Flynn has had a bit of a moment. Fortunately, though, kept it out the barrier and is still racing. But as I was saying, it's over 9,000 pitted 9 laps ago for the softs, and he is still driving strong. Unfortunately, though, he is losing time to the driver behind. Webby now 8.5 seconds, 8 seconds now to his teammate ahead. So potentially, I reckon we will see we'll see a change in position for the two teammates. Perhaps a swap will be in order, for those soft compound tires are properly dead now.
And he's losing like a second or something a lap at least. And let's not forget, it's over 9,000. It has a penalty. I think it's a 5-second time penalty. He got
It
it when
is.
going into the pit lane. So that's going to mean Webby, all he has to do is catch up 2 more seconds. And he's just going to get up into 5th place, just like that.
Now down to 6.5 seconds. Those softs are crying for help as Paynes pulls out another second. 8.5 seconds to Nadim behind. Are we going to have... I think we're going to have 3 different constructors up on the podium steps for this race. Considering that 5 different teams currently hold the top 5 positions on the track.
It's interesting always to see 3 different constructors on the podium. And just as I'm watching here, it's over 9,000 drive. You can just see him struggle so much on the grip, on the traction of the corner, especially through Maggot and Beckett. He was losing the car everywhere. Look as he comes out of the final corner. His car is just wiggling all over the place. I think his biggest threat right now... Oh, he's gone!
It's over 9,000 is gone! Webby now up into 5th place, and he's lost 4 positions from that spin. Or 3 positions, sorry.
That's going to be a big hit to his race. I don't think he's going to be able to recover from that. The only guy he's probably going to be able to catch up to is going to be Armin, as he is losing the car all over the place here. After that spin, his tires are just going to be on fire after that. Over 100 degrees for sure.
And if his tires are on fire, Armin on 8-lap old softs, he's going to have crying tires without a doubt very soon. Now with Payne's crossing the line, 24 laps out of 26, 9 seconds behind. Will that be enough for those soft compound tires to still survive to the end of the race? Go on.
I was going to say, Armin, I think he's got that 2-lap advantage on the tires. So I think if he makes that work, he will be able to remain up in P7. I don't know what the penalty difference between him and CTA's 6 Pulse is. But
as Armin's retired.
Wow, oh my goodness!
Armin's retired and he's lost his front left tire.
What just happened? He's just lost it on the straight.
I don't know what happened there.
And as we was distracted with that, it's over 9,000 and a span in the back. Out of Beckett's.
But now it's over 9,000 up into 9th place. Denrod, who does have, let's have a look here, wrong button. Denrod with 19 seconds of penalties will still find himself finishing in the points because there are only 10 drivers left in this race now as it's over 9,000. Dives into the pits. He will serve those 5 seconds of penalties now.
Yeah, and I think it's game over for it's over 9,000. I don't think he should have pit probably. I think he could have kept the gap up to P9.
I think potentially he might have had front wing damage.
Yeah, possibly. In that case, that's the best decision. But either way, big shame for Armin, and it's over 9,000. And
My game's frozen and my audio's gone.
uh-oh. Let's hope that it's not a crash.
There we go. It's fixed. Oh.
Okay.
Slight panic.
Yeah, that was not very fun to see here on the stream. I had a big panic, a bit of a panic attack here. As well, talking about the flops of the day, and oh, we're seeing some rainfall now.
Oh, everyone's left
Oh.
the session on my screen.
Oh no, you have disconnected.
I've got the disconnect issue. I've got to. Oh, no,
no.
I'm not going to see the end of this race. This is
Oh,
not
no.
what I want. Why has EA done this to me? Cause you got to take it from here. You got to commentate. Oh wait, you can't because it's on the stream.
I'm not even in the session.
No, I can't quit. It won't let me quit.
This is not working.
It's not a red flag issue. It's not allowing me to connect. Oh no. We were on the penultimate lap and it won't let me quit. It is frozen. I'm going to have to alter for the game. Ah, EA, please fix your game. I beg. Oh
I'm
no.
gonna text Lewis. Lewis.
I won't even quit. I can't quit.
Who's the host of the session?
Webby.
Webby, you can join off him if he's the host.
End task, please end task. No, it's frozen. Okay, it's closed. I'm not going to be able to join in time. The race will be over by the time I join.
Oh, just hurry up. I think you might have enough time. This is a bit of a Formula 1 2022 moment. And yeah, now the doubt is, the big question is, are we going to be able to rejoin before the race ends? Okay, skip the intro, skip everything.
Go away. Join game.
Could you join?
It's saying please wait.
Okay, give it a minute, give it a minute. I think you're gonna be able to join before the final, before they cross the finish line. They were
Joining
starting.
session, please wait. Join
Yeah,
session.
Come on, let's pray. Yes, joined. Final lap. Come on. We're going to be able to witness.
Loading
this
complete.
historic.
Please.
Come on.
Spectator mode. Oh my god, we've made it. It is raining. And Webby is up into 4th place and he's on the medium compound tires still.
And Nadim's retired.
Nadim has retired. No.
Mr. DNF once again at it at the few final
and
laps.
Pains
of
has
the
won
race.
it on the soft compound tires.
Oh no, Pace is gonna be on the lead here. Pace crosses the line, wins the race somehow, and everyone's going at the Turtles' pace. It's over 9,000 on RFD our own have gone to the Inters, but it's not gonna be enough because they have been lapped, and so they're gonna finish their race early. I think we're not going to see any position swaps anymore. With
So many drivers
laps.
struggling to drive with the rain in the slicks. But now Flynn across the line, 3 constructors on the podium step, 5 in the top 5. Webby, crucially, now finishing in 4th place, securing a huge amount of points. And now will be leading in the Drivers' Championship. What an incredible drive by the Alfa Romeo. Yes, there will be interviews, Armin. Hopefully we can get Paynes, Mousy, and Flynn in here as well. I'd love to speak to Webby, in fact, as he is now leading the championship. Webby, I would like to know why you are fuming. Please do join the waiting room, as we lost out on the last half a lap because EA said no, you're going to finish the race.
Yeah, well, we just got a time to watch Paynes cross the line, so that's something.
And here comes Denrod.
Yeah, and
Lost,
something
gone.
to note, when you got disconnected on the penultimate lap, I could see the first couple of raindrops come down, and it has gone from raining a
The
tiny
game
bit.
crashed because of the rain.
Oh no!
That is brilliant. Panos, I think you did in the Drivers' Championship because you were, I think it was 11 points ahead of Webby. But Webby, having secured 8 points in the sprint race and now securing more than 3 points in the race, I think he's comfortably taking the lead now. He was in 4th place, so that'll be, 12 points, I believe? So he's now, oh god, I can't do maths. 9 points in the lead, I think. So the one race you miss out on, you've lost the lead of the race. There you go. He's gained 20 points. So yeah, he's 9 points ahead now. But oh my god, slight panic towards the end, but we still got there. Still only 2 wins, Panos. Yeah. You talk about wins like it's nothing. Wins are a big achievement for people like, me, little old me, who's very slow and terrible at the game.
Yeah,
Ah.
and here on the paddock, I'm getting some news here, some words from Mr. Nadim, who says, "No words, I am done." That are his thoughts about that result, that DNF at the end. I wonder what
Oh
happened to him.
no. I have a feeling we're going to have ourselves a good I say a good handful, a very bad handful of reports for the stewards to review. This is very unfortunate to
Yeah,
see.
and a few more words from Nadim that have been shortly removed, but they have been removed. But they said, "I am no longer racing," and a lot of
This game
things
is
I
pretty
cannot say
terrible.
here live. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Well, let's get. I think we should start off the interview strong. Let's get our race winner in here. Pains. Let's see if my mouse can work, please. Pains, you are a race winner at Silverstone today. How was that race for you, mate?
It was challenging to say the least, but it was very fun. And like you said, Silverstone, my home Grand Prix. I think it's my first time ever winning my home Grand Prix. So with ABS off as well, so it's a good result for me.
Very well done indeed. Yeah, I noticed. I think it was around about like somewhere in the first half of the race. You did go stumbling down the order, unfortunately, but you managed to make a stellar comeback to finish off in first place. I mean, you pitted for the softs, which I thought was quite a bold strategy. But I'm guessing Mark was saying that the rain was predicted towards the very end of the race then.
Yeah, I was also speaking with my teammate, and he was like, the softs will be good to start till it starts raining. So I kind of expected it to rain a bit earlier though, but they were like 65% across the line, so I got lucky. It was more of a gamble than a actual strategy.
So certainly a huge gamble, but it's a gamble that paid off. So
Yeah.
Ferrari got the strategy right today, and it's quite impressive. Softs in the rain.
Yeah, the last lap was very, very hard to. I only spun twice, and it was got me shaking.
Fortunately, though, you did have what was it, 9 seconds, 9 or 10 seconds behind you to save. Well, I say to save to be able to push on those softs in the rain. So you were comfortably in the lead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and with Mr. Nadim's spin, that meant that you had an even bigger margin to the car behind for when you cross the finish line. So that means you got pretty much dominant win there at the very end of the race.
Yeah, I was unfortunate for Nadim. I'm pretty sure he crashed on the very last lap. So he was on my tiptoes before we pit though, because we had a free pit stop, but I don't want to pit unless he pit. So I was kind of waiting for him to go in first. Luckily, he did.
Well, brilliant race. Thank you for such an entertaining race. I mean, I was heartbroken to see you tumble down the order, but then for you to come back as a team principal, it's I do enjoy seeing that. You looking forward to Kota next week? Do you think that's going to be another strong track for you?
Well, like I said, I just had ABS off, so I haven't done any laps around Kurt with ABS off. So I'm gonna need to get in the sim and definitely see what my pace is at. But yeah, to definitely give it my all like always.
Well, awesome. Thank you for joining us. Congrats again with the race win. And we'll see you hopefully next week.
Yeah, I'll be in tier 1 tonight as well. So if I can
Awesome.
find a reserve seat, that is.
No
Yeah.
pressure, but I'd like to see you in the interview room again. You got to get top 3.
Hopefully the driver standards are a bit better because I did get dive bombed twice in that race and taken straight out. So
Fortunate. Let's see what happens. But thank you for joining us.
yep, appreciate it. But
I've already forgotten who our second place winner was. Was it Mousy?
I
Mousy then
think
Flynn.
so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Mousy then Flynn, if I'm not mistaken.
Mousy, our second place driver. How was that race for you today, mate?
It was really exciting. I like that 5-way battle at the start. I think it was 5-way.
It was a lot of you. I think it was 4 or 5 of you, yeah.
This race, I kept it safe and clean. I didn't want to, spin out or get any penalties because these last few races have been treacherous for me.
Still
So I
a
just tried
good
to play it
start. I
safe.
mean, you climbed a lot of positions at the very start. I think you climbed about 7 positions in the first couple laps, and then now towards the end of the race, you managed to climb all the way up to P2. So still a brilliant
Yeah,
drive.
I have to thank the rain for that one, for crashing the Diem.
Oh no,
That's how he spun out when the rain started.
very unfortunate, but still a great victory for you in the drivers' championship, and for you as a part of Red Bull. You looking forward
Mhm.
to Kota next week? Do you think that's going to be a strong race for you? Do you think it could be a redemption race to get the top step?
I would have put in a lot of practice, but home race, you know,
Home race, no pressure.
no pressure.
Well,
Trying to impress some team principals right now. One's with race engineers.
Cause, have you got any questions for him?
Yeah, I wanted to ask at the very end there of the race when the rain started coming down. What did you start doing to keep the car on track? Were you just driving like a grandma, like Max Verstappen would say?
I was driving like
Or-
a grandma, yes.
Yeah, just trying to keep it on track, trying to keep it clean. No one was catching up, and right?
I don't think I
Or
went full throttle once because it was so slippery.
oh yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us today. We do have to wrap it up quickly because we've got one more to interview before we have tier 1 later.
I have to watch that while eating lunch.
Well, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Yep. Thank you.
Now, let's see. Try and get Flynn in here for our third place. Flynn, for a return race to Phoenix, that was an incredible race to finish on that third step. How was that for you?
To be honest, it's quite unexpected because obviously a return to Phoenix Sim Sport. I didn't expect P3. Although my sprint wasn't the best. That was because I was actually having wheel issues, but I managed to fix it before we started the race. And apart from that, I'm pretty impressed that I managed to secure P3.
Well, it was an incredible drive, I have to say. I mean, I can't remember where Lewis ended up. Lewis was on the line to finish in first, and then unfortunately went stumbling down the order. But still, strong points for the team. You're looking to come back full time, potentially. Are we going to see you
Potential?
around more often?
Yes, you will most likely see me around a lot more now. So yeah, I'm quite excited to return.
Awesome. Cos, have you got any questions?
No, not at all. Well, actually, I got one. After that moment you had, that bit of a spin you had at the final few laps of the race, what was going through your head? Were you thinking, "Oh, I have messed up," or were you, "Okay, I have to push as hard as I can to recover that time I have lost"?
Well, to be honest, it's a mixture of both. I mean, when I had that snap, it was just grip loss on the rear end. Obviously, I was quite annoyed at the time, but then, like you said, I just thought, you know what, head down. Anything is possible. Anything that can happen. And then I was just pushing to the end, really. Basically on the
Yeah,
limit.
and anything happened because you ended up on P3.
Yeah, I'm in shock. Like I said, my return to Phoenix Sim Sport. I didn't expect P3 today.
Well,
Well,
still a
it's
superb
certainly-
drive.
Yeah, it's certainly nice to see you up on the podium, Flynn.
Thank you.
Definitely a strong comeback. You know, you're really showing the team principals. You know that you're a man to sign for next season.
Indeed.
So hopefully that does secure yourself a seat. I will have to wrap this up here because we do have only 15, 20 minutes before Tier 1 starts. So thank you for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing you around here more often.
No worries. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Catch you later. Well, we do have time. We can squeeze in one more interview, but only one more. Cos, your pick. Shall we speak to the second Ferrari driver, or shall we speak to the Aston Martin team principal?
You said you wanted to talk to Webby, didn't you?
We spoke. Yes,
Yeah,
Webby. Yes, we'll speak to
Yeah,
Webby.
you said you wanted to speak to Webby.
I did speak.
Because
I
he
did
said
say
he was fuming. He said
was
he was
fuming.
and you were curious about that. Then Webby,
Webby.
hi.
Hello.
Please do explain. I mean, first of all, congratulations on qualifying in first place, then finishing the sprint in first place. Very strong. 8 points already secured in that one sprint race. And then, please tell us what happened in that race. How did that race go?
I'm very mixed emotions. Basically, did really good qualifying. Pretty happy with that. Really happy with the sprint. Was going really well in the in the race, and then Lava tapped me in the back, and then re-tapped me in the back again coming out the corner, which led me to spin into the wall and lose my wing a bit. So I had to go 12 laps. I think it was around 12 laps, 11, 12 laps on hard tires with very damaged front wing. So I was losing like 2 seconds a lap basically, but couldn't pit. So.
But crucially,
Yeah.
though, you managed to still secure 4th place. That is a huge amount of points for the team, but crucially, a huge amount of points that now puts you in first place. You are now the championship leader for Season 4. How does that make you feel after that race?
Well, yeah, it's good, but also it shows how hard it's been because Panos hasn't raced for the last 3 races, but he's just been so strong. He's just obviously won with fastest lap, and he's been so far in the lead. The fact it's taken me 6 races to just get past him now is showing his pace. So it's good to be in the lead, but also because he hasn't raced, it's unfortunate for him.
Indeed. Well, I certainly was rooting you at the very start. It was very heartbreaking to see my sister team driver tumble down the order, but to see you back up in 4th place, very close to the podium steps, still very impressive drive. Cos, have you got any questions?
Yeah, I have a question for you, Webby. Are you looking to maybe try to secure this World Drivers' Championship here in this season, or do you think you have any contenders that we're gonna put it very hard for you at the very end?
I mean, definitely Panos, if he drives, he's a big chance of overtaking me. He's got a lot of pace. Payne's, I'm not sure what the points everyone else is on below me, but Payne's has got quite good pace. But yeah, I think there's a few drivers, but there's just a lot of drivers making errors. So I think my worst result this season has actually been 6th place. So I'm doing consistently okay. If I keep this up, then it should be definitely a top 3 in the bag, for sure.
Well, thank you for a certainly very interesting, very entertaining race.
Yeah.
Do you look forward to Kota? Do you think that's going to be another strong race for you?
Yeah, it's an average track for me. I've never really raced it properly. So it'd be interesting. I've raced it a lot, but not properly practiced or anything. So it'd be good to see what my pace is actually like when I actually do look for good setups and put some practice in. So it'll be interesting for me as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today. I look forward to seeing what you have for us at Kota next week.
Yeah.
And we will see you next week then.
All right. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers. Well, I think we'll have to wrap it up there because we've got very little time before Tier 1, and I would like to grab some grub before I have to commentate Tier 1. So
Yeah, your throat must be a bit sore after this.
just a little. Have you got anything to say before we end the stream there?
No, just thank you for the chance to have me up here.
Oh, you are more than welcome to join again. Honestly, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, don't go anywhere because we've got Tier 1 20 minutes, and my co-commentator will actually be racing for our sister team, Alfa Romeo. No pressure, but I'll be watching.
No worry, and make sure to get a good race there for you.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me in the commentators box. Thank you, everyone, for joining me on the stream, and we will see you guys in like 20 minutes, I guess.